The metal key felt cold in my palm, heavier than I expected. I stared at it, whispering to myself, I did it. I really did it. The silence of the empty living room echoed back. My voice sounded strange, trembling between pride and disbelief. I dropped my bag on the floor, then called my parents. The phone rang twice before my mother answered. What is it? Her tone was sharp, like I'd interrupted something important. Mom, I bought a house. It's mine. I have the deed, the key, everything. Silence. A long, unsettling silence. Then a short laugh, clipped and cold. A house, you? Yes, I saved for years. I didn't want to say anything until it was real. She exhaled loudly. And why would you waste your money like that? It's not a waste, I said, my throat tight. It's a home. My home, her voice dropped. You should have talked to us first. Talked to you? About what? I worked for this. Every late night, every overtime hour, I did it alone. Another silence, broken by my father's voice in the background. What's going on? She says she bought a house, my mother snapped. I heard him sigh. Then his calm, tired voice reached me. Is that true? Yes, Dad, I finally did it. Aren't you happy for me? He didn't answer right away. Then, that's surprising. Surprising? I forced a laugh. Dad, I've been working toward this for years. It's all I wanted, my mother cut in. You shouldn't make decisions without us. You're careless. You don't understand responsibility. Responsibility? My voice cracked. I worked myself sick for this. I skipped vacations, skipped meals, skipped everything just to save. How is that careless? No reply. Only the sound of her breathing, heavy and impatient. Finally, she muttered, We'll talk later. The call ended before I could say more. I stared at the phone, shaking. Their silence had crushed the joy bubbling inside me. I sank to the floor and pressed my forehead against my knees. I whispered, Why can't you just say you're proud of me? The next day, I invited them to see the house. They arrived together, stepping inside with blank faces. Here it is, I said, forcing a smile. The living room. It needs paint, but I'll do it myself. The kitchen's small, but it's perfect for me. My father walked slowly, hands behind his back. It's decent. Decent? I asked softly. He avoided my eyes. My mother scanned the room like a critic. Too small, too old. You'll regret this, I swallowed hard. I don't regret it. This is mine. Yours? She arched a brow. You think you can manage this alone? A house isn't just four walls. It's bills, taxes, repairs. You'll drown. I'll learn. I'm not afraid of hard work, she scoffed. You sound naive. I clenched the deed in my hand. Naive or not, it's paid for. This is the first thing in my life that's truly mine. Her lips curled, almost like she wanted to argue, but she said nothing. I turned to my father. Dad, what do you think? He rubbed his forehead. If this makes you happy, then... Fine. Fine? My voice trembled. That's all? He nodded slightly, still not meeting my eyes. Tears burned behind my eyelids, but I bit them back. I wanted them to see pride in me, not weakness. We walked through the rest of the house in silence. Every room I showed them, every corner I pointed out, was met with indifference. Finally, at the front door, my mother said, We'll discuss this later. I frowned. Discuss what? It's already mine. Her eyes narrowed. Don't raise your voice. I'm not... I stopped, lowering my tone. I just want you to understand how much this means to me. She pursed her lips. We'll see. Then they left. I closed the door slowly, leaning against it once the lock clicked. My chest felt hollow. I whispered to the empty hallway. Why does it feel like I've done something wrong? The house was quiet, but the silence wasn't comforting. It was heavy, almost warning me. I walked to the window, holding the deed close to my chest. No matter what they say, this is mine. They can't take it away. But deep inside, a small voice whispered back, Don't be so sure. I shook the thought away and whispered firmly, This house knows the truth. It saw me fight for it, and it will keep me safe. Still, their cold stares lingered in my mind, chilling the pride I had felt just hours earlier. And in that silence, I wondered what storm I had unknowingly invited into my new home. The knock came loud and sharp, too impatient to belong to a neighbor. I opened the door and froze. Clara? She pushed past me with a bright smile, heels clicking against the floor I'd only just polished. Well, well, she said, glancing around. So it's true. You really did it. I shut the door slowly. You didn't call. Why are you here? Why wouldn't I come? She ran her fingers across the wall as if testing the paint. This place is mine. My heart skipped. What did you say? Clara turned, her smile widening. Mom told me years ago. This house would be mine once it was ready. They promised it. That's impossible, I snapped. I bought it. I paid every cent myself. She laughed softly. Oh, you poor thing. You really thought you did this on your own? I did do it on my own. The deed is in my name. Clara's eyes glimmered with amusement. Paper doesn't matter. Promises do. I felt my knees weaken. So Mom told you? Yes. She said when Lucas and I got married, this house would be perfect for us. She's been planning it for me for years. I stared at her, my chest tightening. Then why didn't anyone tell me? Because you were never supposed to be the one standing here, she said, shrugging. You were supposed to help, not keep it. Help? My voice shook. I nearly destroyed myself working for this. And you think it's yours? She tilted her head. Don't look so dramatic. You'll be fine. You always survive, don't you? I swallowed hard. Why are you really here? To see what I'll be living in. Her eyes sparkled. Lucas will love it. As if summoned, the door opened again without warning. A tall man stepped inside, his cologne heavy, his smile practiced. Lucas, Clara said sweetly. Meet my sister. She's keeping the place warm for us, I glared. Excuse me? He extended a hand. So you're the one who handled the purchase. Impressive. But you know how families are. Property is better shared. I didn't take his hand. This isn't shared. It's mine, Lucas chuckled. You sound territorial. Clara told me you were like that. I'm not territorial. I'm tired. I worked years for this house, and you walk in here like it's your showroom. Clara slipped her arm through his. Don't be upset. It's just fair. You don't need a big house all to yourself. Lucas and I will build a family here. Doesn't that sound right? No, I whispered. Lucas's smile sharpened. Your mother assured us it was a done deal. We're just moving the timeline forward. I clenched my fists. I don't care what she promised you. She had no right. This house belongs to me. Clara rolled her eyes. You always cling to scraps. Why can't you ever be generous? Generous? My voice cracked. I gave up everything for this. While you were out shopping, traveling, being spoiled, I was breaking myself to earn it. And now you call me selfish? Lucas raised a brow. Let's calm down. No need for drama. Families compromise. This isn't compromise, I said. This is theft. Big words, Clara said, smirking. But Mom's word is law. You know that. I bit my lip until I tasted blood. Mom isn't the law, and she can't erase what's written on the deed. Lucas leaned closer, his voice low. You think paper protects you? Families tear paper apart every day. I stepped back. Get out, Clara blinked. Excuse me? You heard me. Get out of my house. She laughed, high and mocking. Your house? You sound so sure. Wait until Mom talks to you. Then we'll see who's laughing, Lucas smirked. She's fiery. I like that. But fire burns out. Leave, I repeated, my voice shaking but loud. Now. Clara's smile faltered for the first time. You'll regret this. When Mom takes my side, don't cry to me. She tugged Lucas toward the door. He let himself be dragged, but not before giving me one last cold grin. The door slammed behind them. I pressed my back against it, my breath ragged. My hands shook as I whispered to myself, it's mine. It has to be mine. But even as I clutched the key tighter, doubt seeped in like poison. What if she wasn't lying? What if they really had promised her? The silence of the house weighed heavy, no longer comforting. For the first time, I wondered if the home I fought for would become the battlefield where my family destroyed me. I stormed into my parents' house, clutching the deed like a weapon. My voice cracked as soon as I saw them in the living room. Tell me the truth. Did you promise my house to Clara? My mother looked up from her teacup, calm as ever. Your house? Don't be ridiculous. I slammed the papers onto the table. The deed is in my name. I bought it. But Clara said you promised it to her. She set the cup down slowly, eyes narrowing. Why are you raising your voice at me? Because you're dodging the question. Did you or did you not tell Clara the house was hers? My father shifted in his chair, his gaze fixed on the floor. Sit down. Let's not fight. I'm not sitting down until I get an answer, I snapped. My mother finally sighed. Fine, yes, we told Clara, years ago. We thought it would be best for her future. I felt the air leave my lungs. Best for her future? What about me? You don't need it, she said coldly. You're alone. Clara is starting a family. A husband, children, they need space. You'll be fine with less. My voice shook with rage. So all the years I worked, all the money I saved, all the nights I cried alone, you never cared? You always meant for it to go to her? My father raised a hand. Enough. Don't speak like that to your mother. I turned on him. Then say something. Look me in the eye and tell me you agree. He rubbed his forehead. I just want peace. You know how your mother feels? So you agree, I whispered, my throat burning. You both would hand over everything I earned to her just because she's your favorite. She's not our favorite, my father muttered. She is, I shouted. You've spoiled her since the day she was born, and now you're ready to rob me for her too. The room fell silent until another voice spoke. What's going on here? I turned to see Aunt Lila standing in the doorway, her hands full of groceries. She looked between us, sensing the tension. My mother waved her off. Nothing that concerns you, but I stepped forward. It does concern her. She should hear this. Tell her, Mom. Tell her what you promised Clara. Aunt Lila set the bags down and folded her arms. Promised her what? That the house I bought was actually hers, I said bitterly. My mother lifted her chin. Don't twist my words. I simply told Clara the house would suit her future. I didn't expect you to rush and buy it. You didn't expect me to fight for my own life, I spat. You thought I'd hand it over like always. Aunt Lila's eyes narrowed. Is that true, sister? My mother scoffed. You wouldn't understand. Clara is delicate. She deserves stability, and I don't? I demanded. I deserve nothing, is that it? You're stronger, she said flatly. You'll survive. I laughed bitterly, my voice cracking. Stronger? That's just your excuse for neglect. You don't give me love, you don't give me support, and now you want to take my home because I'll survive? That's not strength, it's cruelty, my father whispered. Stop, please. No, I shouted. I want to hear her say it. Mom, if Clara moves in tomorrow, would you throw me out without a second thought? Her silence was answer enough. Aunt Lila stepped closer, her voice calm but firm. I've watched you do this for years, favoring one child while crushing the other. Don't you see the damage you're causing? My mother turned on her. Stay out of it. You don't have children. You don't understand. I understand more than you think, Aunt Lila said softly. And I see clearly. She earned that house. You can't twist that. My eyes burned with tears. Thank you, I whispered, but my mother's glare sliced through me. Don't expect me to change my mind. A piece of paper won't change what's right. I held up the deed. This isn't just paper. It's my blood, my sacrifice, and it proves you're wrong. Her lips pressed into a thin line. Clara will always come first. The words cut deeper than any knife. My father lowered his head, ashamed, but said nothing. I turned to Aunt Lila, trembling. Do you see now? They never wanted me to have anything. She touched my arm gently. I see, but don't let their blindness take your strength. You've already won by standing up for yourself. I shook my head. It doesn't feel like winning. It feels like betrayal. My mother's voice followed me as I turned toward the door. One day you'll understand why we did this. I spun around, my eyes wet. No, I understand perfectly. You never believed I deserved happiness. And now, for the first time, I'm not going to let you steal it from me. I grabbed the deed, my hands trembling, and walked out before the sob in my chest escaped. Behind me, the house stayed silent, but the walls felt like they were collapsing. The night air pressed heavy against the windows. I sat on the floor with my back to the wall, clutching my knees. My whisper cracked in the dark. I fought for you, I said to the room. Why do I feel like I'm losing? The walls gave no answer, only a faint echo of my own voice. Morning brought footsteps, sharp heels across the hallway. I dragged myself up and opened the door. Clara? She waltzed in without waiting. Good, you're up. I brought the decorator. We're thinking soft cream on the walls, maybe gold accents in the living room. My chest tightened. Decorator? For what? For the wedding, obviously. She turned to a tall man with a clipboard. This is the place, right? Perfect canvas, I stepped between them. This isn't your house, Clara blinked, pretending confusion. What are you talking about? Mom said I could start planning. I thought you'd be supportive. I've told you already, I said, my voice trembling. This is mine, she smiled faintly. You're still holding on to that? Don't make this harder than it needs to be. The decorator shifted awkwardly. Should I come back later? Yes, I said quickly. Leave. Now. He glanced at Clara, then at me, and slipped out the door without a word. I turned back to her. Get out, Clara laughed. You're so dramatic. It's just a little planning. Planning what? I snapped. You've decided this is yours without even asking me, she shrugged. Why would I need to ask? Everyone knows the plan. You're just in the way. My hands shook. I gave up everything for this house. How can you stand there and treat me like a trespasser? She tilted her head. Because you're acting like a child. You always were. My voice rose before I could stop it. Stop talking to me like that. She smirked. You think shouting will make it yours? I clenched my fists, breathing hard. Get out, Clara! Make me. For a moment, I imagined grabbing her arm, throwing her out, but my pride froze me. I stepped aside instead. If you want to look, then look. But don't pretend you own it. She walked from room to room, humming, touching walls I had painted myself. This will be the nursery, she said lightly. Lucas will love it. I swallowed back a scream. Why are you doing this to me? She glanced over her shoulder. Doing what? Living my life? No, I whispered. Taking mine, she rolled her eyes. Stop being melodramatic. You'll be fine. You always are. Her words dug like knives. Do you even care what this cost me? Of course not, she said cheerfully. It's not about cost. It's about destiny. My throat burned. Get out before I lose whatever's left of my patience. She finally turned serious. Fine, but talk to Mom. She'll explain. This will all be sorted soon. Sorted? I echoed. You mean stolen. Clara smoothed her hair. Believe what you want. She swept out the door like a queen leaving a court. I closed it behind her, my hands trembling so hard I could barely lock it. The house fell silent again, but the silence felt like a wound. I slid down the door and pressed my forehead against the wood. What am I worth to them? The walls did not answer. I crawled to the living room, dragging my fingers across the plaster. I built you, I whispered. Every tile, every coat of paint. You were supposed to keep me safe. My tears smeared the fresh paint on the baseboard. Was I foolish to believe you could? The air felt heavy, almost listening. I'm breaking, I whispered. And they don't even see it. The house creaked softly, as if it knew. I lay on the floor until my breathing steadied. In the quiet, I could still hear Clara's voice, bright and mocking. You'll be fine. You always are, I whispered back. Not this time. The knock on the door echoed like a judgment. I opened it to find Mr. Grant, the lawyer, standing with his briefcase. His calm eyes met mine. Good morning, he said. May I come in? Yes, please, I replied, stepping aside. My hands trembled, but I forced myself to stay steady. Before I could speak further, Clara's voice chimed from the living room. Finally. We've been waiting, I froze. My mother sat on the sofa beside her, both of them wearing smug smiles. What are you doing here? I asked, my voice sharp. Clara crossed her legs elegantly. We thought it best to be present. After all, this involves us too. It doesn't, I shot back. Mr. Grant cleared his throat politely. Shall we proceed? I was asked to confirm the rightful ownership. Clara clapped her hands lightly. Perfect, go ahead. Let's settle this once and for all. I turned to my mother. You called him here? She met my eyes without flinching. We need clarity. Clarity? I almost laughed. The deed is already clear. Mr. Grant opened his case and pulled out several papers. If you'll allow me, I'll read the documentation. Clara leaned forward, eyes gleaming. Please do. I can't wait to hear it. My stomach twisted as Mr. Grant adjusted his glasses. His calm voice filled the room. According to official records, the property located at 32 Willow Lane is purchased under the sole ownership of... He paused, glanced at me, then continued. You. Me? I whispered, though I already knew. Clara's smile faltered. What? Mr. Grant repeated, steady and professional. The deed lists only your name. You are the sole legal owner. I gripped the armrest of the chair. Say it again. You, he said firmly. This house belongs to you alone. The words struck like lightning, slicing through every doubt. Clara shot to her feet. That's impossible, Mom said. Mr. Grant held up a hand. I deal in facts, not promises. The records are unambiguous. I turned to my mother. Do you hear that? It's mine. Legally mine, her lips pressed into a thin line. She said nothing. Say something, I demanded, but she only stared, cold and silent, as if her silence itself cursed me. Clara's face twisted. No, she doesn't need it. I do, fix it, she shouted at Mr. Grant. He shook his head calmly. There is nothing to fix. Ownership is already established. Then transfer it. Clara snapped. That requires consent from the owner, he said, glancing at me. All eyes turned to me. I clutched the deed in my lap. My voice trembled but grew stronger with every word. I will never sign it away. Clara's jaw dropped. You selfish witch. I'm selfish? I shot back. I worked for this. Every tear, every sleepless night. And you think you can waltz in and claim it? You don't need it, she shouted. You're alone. You'll stay alone. My hands shook, but I forced my voice to stay firm. I'd rather be alone in a house I earned than share a roof stolen from me. Mr. Grant cleared his throat again. Legally speaking, the matter is closed. No promises, no family agreements, no verbal arrangements override the deed. Clara glared at him. Do you have any idea who you're talking to? Yes, he said evenly. To people who must respect the law. Her face flushed red. Mom, say something! I turned to my mother again. Yes, Mom, say something. Admit you were wrong. She rose slowly, her voice low. You think a piece of paper will protect you? Families break paper. Families break each other. Her words chilled me more than Clara's screams. Mr. Grant began packing his case. My work here is finished. If disputes continue, you may pursue legal channels. But the ownership is not in question. Thank you, I whispered. He gave me a small nod. Stand firm. Truth is on your side. He left quietly, leaving the three of us in the thick silence. Clara spun on me, eyes blazing. You'll regret this. You'll regret crossing me. I stood, clutching the deed against my chest like a shield. The only thing I regret is ever believing you loved me as a sister. She opened her mouth, but I cut her off. Get out. Both of you. This house doesn't belong to liars, Clara hissed under her breath, then stormed toward the door. This isn't over. I followed, watching them leave. My mother paused at the doorway, her gaze heavy. You think you've won, she whispered. But you've only started a war. The door shut behind them, and the silence rang louder than any scream. I collapsed against the wall, clutching the deed. My tears fell, but my grip stayed strong. For once, the truth had spoken for me. The phone rang late in the evening. I almost ignored it, but Clara's name flashed on the screen. Against my better judgment, I answered. Her voice was sharp. You stole my future. I gripped the phone tighter. Your future? No, Clara, I simply claimed my own. You're pathetic, she hissed. Do you think holding on to that house will make you happy? It was meant for me. You know it. Meant for you because Mom said so? She was wrong. The law proved it, she laughed bitterly. Law? Family means more than law. You'll see. Before I could reply, my mother's voice cut in. Speakerphone. Why are you being so selfish? You have no husband, no children. Why do you need an entire house? Because I earned it, I said, my chest aching. Every brick is soaked with my effort. You've always been selfish, she said coldly. Clara shares everything. Why can't you? Shares? My voice cracked. She takes. She's taken everything since we were children, and you still call it sharing. She deserves it, my mother snapped. She's the younger one. She's fragile. She's not fragile, I spat. She's manipulative. And you feed it. A man's voice joined suddenly. Lucas. What are you even fighting for? No man will want a bitter woman like you anyway. At least Clara has me. What do you have? Walls and silence? His words sliced me open. I whispered, get out of my life. Clara laughed cruelly. You can't erase us. You'll always be the bitter, unwanted sister clinging to a house no one wants you to have. I want it, I said fiercely. I want it because it's mine. Lucas sneered. It's a lonely prize. Empty rooms won't warm your bed. I bit back tears. I'd rather sleep alone than live as a parasite. Careful, Clara said in a low voice. One day you'll beg us for help. And I'll remember this. I hung up before my voice broke completely. The silence pressed in, and I collapsed onto the floor. My body shook, tears spilling freely. I clutched the deed to my chest like a shield, whispering to myself through sobs, "This house is mine. I will never bow again." The words steadied me, a fragile promise against their poison. But even as I whispered, their voices lingered in my ears, mocking, cruel, relentless. I met Aunt Lila at the corner cafe. She sipped her tea slowly, studying me over the rim. "You've heard, haven't you?" she asked. "Heard what?" I leaned forward, wary. "Lucas, he's been seen with another woman. Several, actually." My stomach tightened. "Clara?" "She doesn't know. Or she pretends not to." Aunt Lila set the cup down. "You should be careful. This storm doesn't need your voice to grow." "Let it spin on its own," I whispered. "He's betraying her?" Aunt Lila's lips curved faintly. "The way she betrayed you. Life has a way of balancing." I rubbed my hands together. "Do you feel sorry for her?" "Do you?" she countered. I hesitated. "No, not yet." Her eyes softened. "You've always wanted their love, even when it hurt you. But maybe it's time to stop wanting," I sighed. "How do I stop?" She touched my hand. "By seeing clearly. I saw Clara lie for years. I saw her twist words, play innocent, and your parents let her. You were always the scapegoat." My chest ached. "And you never said anything?" "I should have. But silence was safer." "I regret it," I nodded slowly. "At least you admit it." Later that day, Mara knocked on my door. When I opened it, she grinned. "So it's true. You finally have your own place," I smiled faintly. "Yes, though it feels more like a battlefield." Her eyes narrowed. "Because of Clara?" "Always Clara." She stepped inside. "Then let me say this. You don't owe them anything. Not your peace, not your house, not your tears." I sank onto the couch. "That's easy to say." "It's true," she said firmly. "You've lived your whole life chasing scraps of approval, and now you're realizing you don't need it." "That's power." I shook my head. "Power feels lonely." Mara sat beside me. "Better lonely than shackled." I laughed bitterly. "You sound like Aunt Lila." "Smart woman, then," Mara replied. "And she's right. Don't fight their lies. Let them eat each other alive." I leaned back, closing my eyes. "Lucas is cheating on Clara," Mara whistled. "Already? Figures? Men like him only chase shiny things. Should I tell her?" I asked quietly. "Why?" Mara tilted her head. "So she can accuse you of lying? So she can blame you again?" I stayed silent. Mara touched my shoulder. "Let her find out on her own. Karma doesn't need your help." That night, I heard voices outside my gate. Clara's shrill tone pierced the air. "Don't lie to me, Lucas." "I saw the messages." His voice followed, annoyed. "You're overreacting." "It was nothing." "Nothing?" she screamed. "Dinner dates, hotel rooms, do you call that nothing?" I stood in the dark, unseen, listening. My heart raced, but I didn't move. "You're paranoid," Lucas said coldly. "If you keep this up, I'll leave." "You wouldn't dare." "Wouldn't I?" The gate slammed. Footsteps stormed away. I pressed my hand against the wall, whispering, "Cracks always show eventually." For once, I felt no urge to run after her, no ache to comfort. I stayed still, letting the night swallow their words. The house seemed to breathe with me, steady and calm. Mara's voice echoed in my mind. Better lonely than shackled. For the first time, I believed it. The knock was faint this time, hesitant. I opened the door and froze. "Clara?" Her eyes were swollen, makeup streaked across her cheeks. She clutched a small suitcase like it was all she had left. "Please," she whispered. "Let me in." I didn't move. "What do you want?" Her voice cracked. "Lucas is gone. He left me." "I don't have anywhere else to go." I stared at her, stunned. "After everything, you come here?" Tears spilled down her face. "I know I was awful, but I'm your sister. Please, just for a little while." Before I could answer, my phone buzzed. Mother's voice burst through when I picked up. "Let her stay," she ordered. I gripped the phone tighter. "You think you can just demand that?" "She's your sister," she snapped. This was supposed to be her house anyway. "Don't be cruel." "Cruel?" I whispered. "After everything she's done to me, I'm the cruel one?" "Yes!" my mother shouted. "Clara is fragile. She needs you. If you don't help her now, you'll regret it for the rest of your life." I clenched my jaw. Maybe she should regret what she's done to me. Clara tugged at my arm, sobbing. Please, don't listen to her. Listen to me. I'm sorry, I don't have anywhere else. I pulled away. You stood in this very doorway and told me I'd regret keeping my house. And now look at you, her voice broke. I was wrong. I was stupid. I thought Lucas loved me, but he left for someone else. I have nothing, I shook my head. You had everything once? You had their love, their protection, their promises. And you threw it at me like knives. I know, she whispered. And I'm paying for it now. Please don't shut me out. Mother's voice screeched through the phone. If you turn her away, you're no daughter of mine. Something in me snapped. Maybe I never was. I ended the call. Clara sank to her knees on the porch, her suitcase tipping over. I'm begging you. Just a room, just until I figure things out. I stared down at her. My chest tightened with both pity and fury. Do you even hear yourself? After trying to steal everything, you come crawling back to me? Yes, she sobbed. Because I have nowhere else. You had choices, I said coldly. You chose him. You chose to stand against me. And now you want me to fix what's left? Her hands trembled as she reached for me. Please, just one chance. I stepped back. No, Clara. I gave you chances my whole life. I gave you everything and you repaid me with betrayal. Her tears fell harder. Then you'll really leave me on the street? I whispered. You left me in worse places, alone, unwanted, forgotten. Her sobs filled the night, echoing against the walls of the house that was finally, truly mine. Clara's sobs shook the porch, but I stood tall in the doorway. Please, she whispered. Just for one night. No, I said firmly. The word left my mouth like stone. Her eyes widened. You can't mean that, I do. I've never meant anything more. The phone rang again. I answered. Mother's voice exploded through. What are you doing? Let her in this instant. No, I repeated. She doesn't live here. You ungrateful child. She screamed. After everything we did for you, this is how you repay us? What did you ever do for me except take? My voice didn't shake. You never gave me love. You never gave me peace. And you almost stole my home. Clara clutched my leg, crying. I'm sorry. Don't say that. Don't mean it, I pulled away. I do mean it. Father's voice came faintly in the background. Enough, stop fighting. Say something then. I shouted. Tell her the truth. But he stayed quiet. His silence was the same silence that raised me. Mother spat through the line. You're heartless. No man will want you. No family will stand with you. Then I'll stand with myself, I said. Steady. Clara looked up at me with trembling lips. Sister, please. I shook my head. You lost the right to call me that when you tried to erase me. She broke into sobs again. You're cruel. No, I whispered. I'm free. I ended the call. The porch was filled only with her weeping. Go home, I said. I don't have a home, she wailed. Then build one like I did. Cry, work, bleed if you must. But don't come here again. She stared at me as if she didn't know me anymore. I stepped back inside and placed my hand on the door. This house will hold truth, not betrayal. Then I shut it. The lock clicked, and with it, the weight on my chest lifted. For the first time, the silence inside felt light. The living room was empty, sunlight spilling across the floor in wide, soft bands. I sat in the middle of it, my palms flat on the cool wood. You're mine, I whispered to the house. You know my tears, my battles, my strength. The silence seemed to listen. A knock startled me. I rose slowly and opened the door. Aunt Lila stood there with a paper bag. I brought tea, she said softly. Come in, I replied. My voice felt steadier than it had in months. She glanced around. It's quiet now. Yes, I said. Finally quiet. We sat on the floor. She poured tea into 2 cups. You look different, she said. Lighter, I am, she hesitated. Your mother called me. She's furious. She says you've abandoned the family. I smiled faintly. I didn't abandon them. I stopped letting them abandon me. That's a strong thing to say. It's true, I whispered. For years I begged for crumbs. I'm done, she handed me a cup. Do you regret it? I shook my head. Not anymore. Her eyes softened. Then you've already won. We drank quietly for a while. Another knock came. This one was sharper. I opened the door to find Mara. She grinned. I was walking by. Thought I'd check on you. Come in. I said. She stepped inside, eyes roaming over the empty walls. Looks like a blank canvas. It is, I said. I'll fill it with my own life now. Mara leaned against the wall. How does it feel? Strange, I admitted. I've wanted this for so long, but I didn't know freedom would feel this quiet. Quiet can be good, she said. Quiet means you're not fighting anymore. I nodded. For once, the silence isn't heavy. It's mine, she smiled. I'm proud of you. I blinked back sudden tears. Thank you. No one's ever said that to me. You earned it, Mara said firmly. You built this from nothing. Don't forget that, Aunt Lila added softly. And you didn't just build a house. You built a self. I looked between them. Do you think I'll ever forgive them? Mara shrugged. Maybe, maybe not. But forgiveness isn't the same as surrender. I won't surrender, I said. Not again, Aunt Lila smiled faintly. Then you're already free. I walked to the window, staring at the sunlight. My family may never love me, I said quietly, but I survived their betrayal. I built something lasting. Mara came to stand beside me. So what now? I start over, I said. I build a life inside these walls without their poison. She nudged me. You'll need paint, I laughed softly. And furniture. Call me when you're ready, she said. I'll help. I turned to Aunt Lila. Will you come too? She nodded. Always. For a moment, the house felt warm. I placed my hand on the wall. You saw everything. You held me when no one else did. And now you're my witness. Aunt Lila tilted her head. Talking to the house? Yes, I said simply. It's the only thing that never lied to me. Mara chuckled. Then it's a better friend than most people, I smiled. Maybe, but now I have you both. They smiled back. The deed lay on the floor beside me. I picked it up and held it high. This didn't just prove ownership, I said, my voice firm. It proved I had a voice. Mara's eyes shone. Keep using it. I will, I whispered. From now on, every decision is mine. Every corner of this house will be filled with truth. Aunt Lila raised her cup. To your new beginning, Mara raised hers too. To your voice, I lifted mine. To my home. We drank together, sunlight warming our faces. I set the cup down and whispered to the house once more. This is where my story begins. With me. The walls stayed silent, but I felt them breathe, and for the first time, I felt whole.